What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about this video from Den of Nerds talking about Kathleen Kennedy, and I just disagree with the premise of the video completely. And some weird thing has been going on in the last couple of days. I saw this tweet right here going around where it says she deserves an apology. And a lot of people reacted to it, and I reacted and says, I apologize for not criticizing her sooner. And that would be my apology to Kathleen Kennedy, is that I apologize for ever giving you a chance, for ever believing that you had the ability to do anything other than ruin and destroy George Lucas's creation of Star Wars. That's what I apologize for. But this story right here, Josh from Den of Nerds says that Disney CEO Bob Iger intentionally made Kathleen Kennedy the scapegoat for Star Wars. And as I said right here, Bob Iger obviously had plenty to do with it too, but it doesn't take away the heat from Kathleen Kennedy. Star Wars is dead because of her. This is the same woman that wore the Force's female shirt. This is the same woman who said, we need more women visual effects people in Hollywood, and she made a point that there were not enough women in the VX industry in Hollywood. And my whole premise of that was, if there aren't enough women, then you're essentially saying that you need to fire a bunch of men in order to hire more women, which is a ridiculous argument. How about the most qualified person gets the job? But she has made it a point that one of her goals at Lucasfilm was to bring more diversity into the equation. And we all know what diversity means, especially in Hollywood. It means less white dudes. That's what diversity means. And so we've heard her on camera multiple times making these statements. We've heard people like Ryan Johnson say that that was her goal.
Geeks and Gamers fans, this one's for you. Rep your fandom with our brand new merch drop, featuring limited edition shirts and an all-new hat that's built for true iDots. These won't last long, so grab yours now at ripascend.com before they're gone. Hail the 199.
We also know that Bob Iger is a disaster. We know that he has ruined many things at the Walt Disney Company, so it's not like he doesn't get the blame, but it doesn't take any focus away from Kathleen Kennedy, in my opinion. So this is over on their new geeksandgamers.com website. Shout out to Alex Gurzo, who's our editor-in-chief and has been forever and a day, and he still is. So right here, this is all based on a video that Josh from Den of Nerds made. And as you see right here, the video reminds viewers of the Ben Solo Kylo Ren movie that Adam Driver said that Bob Iger nuked. And this is what led Josh to Den of Nerds to look into whether this is something that happened more often with Lucasfilm, that Bob Iger made some of the big decisions, including many of the ones of which Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy took the blame. And right here, I'm about to get the tea on this mother effer Bob Iger. If anyone else wants to hit me up with info, DMs are open. Josh then reveals information he got from a source, and while he qualifies that this is not official and that he has no firsthand knowledge, he also says that this person is the best and most plugged-in source Josh has, one of who has given him accurate information in the past, and that the source told Josh that much of what is common knowledge about Kathleen Kennedy and the decisions made since Disney bought Lucasfilm is not exactly correct. Again, with all respect to Josh, I like I said, I've known Josh for a long time. I wouldn't call us friends. We've been on a few streams and we're aware of each other, but I have nothing against Josh. Under no circumstances do I believe this at all. Not even a bit, not even a little bit. To begin, Bob Iger does not like George Lucas. This is from Josh. Or the prequel trilogy. That being the case, Bob Iger wanted to cancel the Clone Wars, the animated series set in the prequel era. Kathleen Kennedy wanted to let the show continue and had to fight for the final season, and she ended up getting it, which was not how Dave Filoni wanted to end the series. Filoni's original plan was to adapt the novel Darth Maul, the son of Dathomir, which pitted Darth Maul against Sidious, the future Emperor Palpatine. Bob Iger said no. I don't care if this is actually true or not. It doesn't matter in the bigger scheme of things. To me, This sounds like people within Lucasfilm realizing how bad the decisions have been from the top. And by the way, Dave Filoni is just as much a part of this as Kathleen Kennedy. And listen, I'm a huge fan of the Clone Wars. I think the Clone Wars is awesome, and I will continue to stand by that. But Dave Filoni has been on record saying many of the things that we have been pissed off about Rian Johnson saying and Kathleen Kennedy saying. He doesn't get a pass. I'm sorry. If you think that running these stories is going to get us to think that Bob Iger is behind this, that he's the evil person pulling all the strings and that you guys were just, being part of it because you had to do your job, fuck that. You guys attacked the fans. You guys attacked the fans for calling this out. You guys, you put your names on it. You guys were at the forefront of this. You co-signed it. You stood by other people that did it. And nobody is going to have sympathy for you at all. None of you. It's in your DNA in Hollywood to hate the fans. It's in your DNA. There's a reason I'm wearing this MAGA hoodie right now, because I want you to know who I am. I don't give a shit if you like it or not, Hollywood freaks. I don't give a damn. I want you to get pissed off because I have a different opinion than you, because you have made it clear where you stand, and I'm going to make it clear where I stand. And I want to be crystal clear that I don't give a shit about your opinions, and I have zero sympathy for you. You burned Lucasfilm to the ground. You attacked the fans forever and ever, years and years and years of this stuff. When we told you point blank, this is not working. You're pandering to people that do not care about your stuff. They're going to let these toys sit on the shelves. They're not going to your movies. They're not going to keep Star Wars alive like fans kept Star Wars alive all of those years that there were no movies. And the fans of the EU kept all of that alive. The freaks that you're pandering to are not going to do that. Period. End of discussion. You get no sympathy at all. Another idea that is completely Iger is turning the fourth season of The Mandalorian into an upcoming film, Mandalorian and Grogu, because he wanted a Star Wars movie in theaters. The fourth season, which had some scripts that were completely done, would have heavily featured Boba Fett and would have repaired his character. A character wouldn't need to be repaired if you didn't ruin it in the first fucking place, which, if you would have listened to the fans, it wouldn't have happened. I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen... I didn't see the Book of Boba Fett. I don't think I've seen Mandalorian season 3. I've heard how bad it was. I haven't seen a lot of this shit. I saw The Acolyte because it was just too good to pass up. The grift was so good on The Acolyte. I unfortunately watched Obi-Wan Kenobi, and no need to keep talking about that. But a lot of this stuff I did not watch. So Iger, along with his temporary successor, Bob Chapek, also stopped Obi-Wan Kenobi from being made as a movie and turned it into a Disney Plus show for a smaller budget. See, here's what I don't understand. So Bob Iger turned the fourth season of The Mandalorian into an upcoming film because he wanted a Star Wars movie in theaters. But then also here, Iger turned a potential movie, into a Disney Plus show. None of this stuff makes sense, man. None of this makes sense. And again, I'm not a Bob Iger guy. I legitimately can't stand Bob Iger. I really, really don't like him. Iger was also responsible for The Rise of Skywalker, bringing J.J. Abrams back for the final film in the sequel trilogy. Iger then refused to delay the film, ending production 3 months early so that Rise of Skywalker could make its release date. Listen, man, the more that I am told that I have to believe something, the more that I am thinking about, what are you trying to make me look away from? Kathleen Kennedy, lover, hater, whatever. Kathleen Kennedy is a very powerful person in Hollywood. An extremely powerful person. She's connected. There's a reason that George Lucas gave her the reins to, the sequel trilogy and Star Wars. There's a reason that she was picked. She's very, very close with Steven Spielberg. She's very close with a lot of powerful people in Hollywood. So I'm supposed to believe that she just got screwed over and had no say-so in this situation, even though George Lucas anointed her the president of Lucasfilm. I'm just supposed to believe that since 2015, Kathleen Kennedy has just had no power and no ability to do anything because Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, who, as Gary has called him, is just a glorified weatherman, the guy who buys up all these properties because he can't create anything. I'm supposed to believe that this guy was intricately involved in these decisions at Lucasfilm, ruining Star Wars. But Kathleen Kennedy, the person that it's on record, went out of her way to get J.J. Abrams for The Force Awakens, and then had no plan for the sequel trilogy and just allowed Rian Johnson to walk in there and do whatever the hell he wanted. I'm supposed to believe that she's just the innocent scapegoat in all of this. The same Kathleen Kennedy that didn't pay attention to what was going on with Solo, a Star Wars story. Solo lost money. I'm supposed to believe that that person who then started to pay attention after it was 80% done and decided to fire Lord and Miller, then to bring in Ron Howard, I'm supposed to believe she's just an innocent scapegoat in all this? I don't buy it, man. I don't buy it at all. Again, Bob Iger is terrible. But Kathleen Kennedy is equally as terrible, and I will not, under any circumstance, give this woman a pass based off of sources. Can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. In fact, Iger's fingerprints were apparently all over the sequel trilogy, particularly the treatment of Luke Skywalker, the original trilogy's hero. Kathleen Kennedy, according to this source's report, wanted Rey and Luke to be the primary focus of the sequel trilogy. Iger wanted to get rid of the Skywalkers and make Luke a bad mentor to Rey. Okay, stop, dude. Stop. This is like Candace Owens level craziness is where we're heading right now. Like, this is crazy. The source's report says that Bob Iger put a stop to the Darth Bane series and an Old Republic movie trilogy. So Kathleen Kennedy was fighting for a Darth Bane and an Old Republic movie. What are we doing here, man? Kathleen Kennedy reportedly wanted to keep George Lucas's original sequel script, but Iger threw them out, leading to a great deal of tension between the two. This is insane. Many of these decisions were made for motives typically ascribed to Kathleen Kennedy. Iger wanted Star Wars to become Disney's version rather than George Lucas's. Removing Luke as the saga's central hero and turning Rey, the Disney character, into the protagonist. This gels with the sequels, essentially undoing Luke's accomplishment and goals and those other characters from the original trilogy and handing them to Rey. Has Bob Iger been using Kathleen Kennedy as a Star Wars scapegoat, sitting in silence and letting her take the blame for all of his decisions? We may never know the truth. But this certainly is an interesting new spin on an accepted version of Disney Star Wars behind-the-scenes story, and ironically modern Disney-like plot twist that makes the assumed villain the true hero of the tale. I really appreciate Alex putting this together and our crew over at geeksandgamers.com. And again, I have nothing against Josh. I disagree with every single aspect of this. This sounds like somebody is trying to spin the narrative that Kathleen Kennedy is the hero of the story. So they're basically pulling every single thing that they think a Star Wars fan would want to hear. Kathleen was fighting for Luke. Kathleen wanted the Clone Wars saved. Kathleen wanted a Darth Bane series and an Old Republic series. Oh, man. Kathleen wanted Luke to be the focus. I don't believe this for shit. But it's an interesting story that I think deserves more discussion. And let me know what you think in the comments below. But this is 100% bullshit in my humble opinion. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Solo lost money. Rise of Skywalker lost money. Reylos are weird. Fuck Lucasfilm. And we will talk to you later.